Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. Governorates of the Sultanate continue their celebrations of blessed Eid al-Adha through various activities and events. The Iranian president says that Iran and other Gulf states can protect the region's security and foreign forces are not needed. And Pakistan calls for an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council, saying the move by India's government threatens international peace. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Ram Nath Kovind of India on his country's independence anniversary. His Majesty the Sultan also sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Moon Jae-in of Korea on his country's independence anniversary. Celebrations of blessed Eid al-Adha continue in various governorates of the Sultanate. Al-Ayyud is a form of celebration of Eid al-Adha, and it is a social occasion which is mainly to instill traditional values in children. In the Wilaya of Rostaq, in the Governorate of South Batina, local citizens performed Al-Ayyud in front of Al-Rostaq Fort. This celebration included a number of cultural and social activities. Various society segments took part in Al-Ayyud. Toys for kids were available, among other items like gifts and sweets. Traditional Omani singing arts like Razha and Al-Azi were present at this event. Art groups from various wilayas of the Governorate of South Batina participated in this activity. Beside local citizens, Al-Ayyud attracted residents and tourists from various world countries. Eid al-Adha celebrations in the Wilaya of Nizwa in the Governorate of Al-Dakhiliya is a manifestation of Eid and a traditional heritage associated with this happy occasion. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi attended the celebration and made the following report.
In front of the traditional Nizwa market, people of the Wilaya of Nizwa conduct Al-Azwa and Al-Ayyud during the evenings of Eid days, a custom that is preserved generation after another as a way to rejoice the occasion of the happy Eid.
Eid celebration is very important for us, and because we spend a lot of amazing time with families and friends and our neighbors, and this is I think is chance for children to spend amazing time.
The young and the old, side by side, perform traditional Omani singing arts to celebrate this occasion, expressing their immense joy and happiness amid a wide presence of residents and visitors, depicting a joyful scene at this festive event. Al-Ayyud represents a cause of great jubilation for the youngsters. It is an open market dedicated to children selling and buying toys, sweets and nuts, an experience that adds more excitement and pleasure to their hearts.
Celebrating this blessed occasion is also an opportunity to instill such beautiful Omani traditions among the youth. From the Wilaya of Nizwa, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Al-Dakhiliya Governorate.
In the Wilaya of Suhar, in the Governorate of North Batina, a celebration was organized on the occasion of the blessed Eid al-Adha. It included the performance of some Omani traditional arts such as Razha, Razfa, Razfat Maidan and Azi. Some poets also recited some of their poetic works that expressed the joy of Eid and feelings of love and loyalty to the homeland and its leader. The celebration was also a great opportunity to strengthen the social bonds among citizens in the Wilaya. Still to come in our news bulletin. The world's biggest sculpture takes pride of place on Belgian highway. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. President Hassan Rouhani said today that Iran and other Gulf states could protect the region's security and foreign forces were not needed, repeating a long-standing rejection of a U.S. maritime security mission in the region. The United States has launched a maritime security mission in the Gulf backed by Britain after Iran seized a British-flagged vessel there last month. 2 weeks earlier, British Marines seized an Iranian vessel off the British Mediterranean territory of Gibraltar on suspicion of violating European sanctions by taking oil to Syria. The presidential spokesman said that the seizure of the Iranian vessel was incorrect and that Iran expected a Gibraltar court to deliberate on its release in the coming days. Iran said yesterday that Britain might free its Grace 1 oil tanker soon, but that was quickly denied by authorities in Gibraltar. Pakistan's Prime Minister assured Kashmiri people living in the Indian-administered part of the divided region that he supports them in their struggle for self-determination. In a statement today, Imran Khan condemned New Delhi's decision on August 5th to downgrade Kashmir's status as he began celebrations marking Pakistan's Independence Day. In the meantime, Pakistan has called for an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council, saying the move by India's government threatens international peace and could lead to ethnic cleansing and genocide. Poland holds the Council presidency this month, and Foreign Minister Jacek Czaputowicz said members would discuss the letter. Syrian rebels held off advancing government forces in Idlib province by destroying a tank, a vehicle carrying soldiers, and a large rocket launcher. The footage uploaded by the National Front for Liberation, which is part of the Free Syrian Army, showed the fighting taking place in Idlib settlements around the rebel-held town of Khan Sheikhoun. Rebel sources said Syrian government forces seized new positions from them to the west of the town of Khan Sheikhoun. Government forces were now 4 kilometers from the town. Firefighters on the Greek island of Evia were still battling today to contain a fire that has caused massive damage to a pristine mountain wildlife habitat after threatening 4 communities. The blaze burned for a second day in a ravine at the 550-hectare wildlife habitat of Agrilitsa, causing major damage to pine forests. The fire that broke out in the early hours of Tuesday on Greece's second largest island prompted the evacuation of 3 villages. Over 200 firefighters were in action, backed by 75 fire trucks, 9 water-bombing helicopters, and 7 planes along a 12-kilometer front, managing to avert damage to the inhabited areas. 2 Italian water bombers arrived after Greece requested EU assistance and were on standby. A 3rd plane from Spain was due to arrive by this evening. The world's biggest sculpture, a half-arc made from steel, is set to surprise divers taking a scenic tour in the south of Belgium to France or Luxembourg. Designed by French conceptual artist Bernard Venet and called L'Arc Majeur, the 60-meter tall sculpture was installed at Lavaux Saint-Anne, a small town along the busy 411 highway yesterday. The 78-year-old artist, who held his first major exhibition in Paris in 1965 and had lived in New York City since 1997, said he expected different reactions from people driving through it, adding it would depend if they are knowledgeable about contemporary art or not. Venet had initially wanted to install the sculpture made from 200 tons of steel and set in 2,800 tons of concrete in France, but ran into various obstacles and eventually found a home for it in Belgium. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coasts of the Arabian Sea. Clear to partly cloudy skies with chances of intermittent drizzle are expected over the governorate of Dhofar, while winds will be southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main headlines once again. Governorates of the Sultanate continue their celebrations of blessed Eid al-Adha through various activities and events. The Iranian president says that Iran and other Gulf states can protect the region's security and foreign forces are not needed. And Pakistan calls for an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council, saying the move by India's government threatens international peace. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.